You filmed a ton of content. What are you going to do with it? I'm here with my good friend, Jimmy Burgess, industry titan. We're here at the Titans of Tomorrow event at Boomtown Unite, and I mean this for real. He's on Inman. This guy is all over the place, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway Beach Home Properties in Florida. Jimmy, thanks for coming on, man, number one.
Come on, man. Listen, I will say this, Tom, I have for years, and I guess we've been knowing each other now for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Literally, everything you do and the way you bring value to the whole industry, it inspires me, man. I just appreciate all you do.
It goes both ways, brother. So, speaking of value, you're doing tons of content, but you're not just like filming a video and putting it out there. You're operationalizing it, and a lot of people don't get the process. Like, we're filming a video like this. It doesn't stop there. So why don't you explain how you're working through all the stuff you're putting out there to deliver value and help people?
Yeah, so, this started, I know we all started where it's just like, you've got to do video,
Mm-hmm.
And so we start always with the video. That's the core foundation of everything we're doing because it gives us that ability to really connect with people. We can talk to them, instead of just mainly putting this out there in a kind of a different way. All of a sudden, what I found was though I was doing one piece of content and I was leaving so much on the table. So much opportunity was there because once we shot the one video, then I had the opportunity to go in. I could chop portions of it up. I could use it on social media as a teaser to drive it to the video. I could use it as something that would attract people for a blog post or for an article or for something else. So here, I want to go through the process. I think this is super practical.
Well,
right?
and so many people are shooting videos and they just kind of post a video on Facebook or like Instagram, and that's it. They don't do anything else.
Right. And, and in reality, that's a great place if you're starting.
It's a good start.
What we want to talk about is moving from class 101 to 201.
Agreed.
And now what we want to do is we want to take full advantage of everything you've done because literally, I'll give you my process. We shoot one video. That video is then, obviously, that one's on YouTube. It's on social media. It's utilized just like everybody else does. We'll take and we'll chop a portion of that up. We'll use it as teasers to drive traffic to those things. And then we'll take and we'll rip that audio out. And when we rip the audio out, we've got an editor that actually does this, that puts it together for a podcast for us on iTunes, on Spotify, all these places, a real estate sales podcast. And so now all of a sudden that one piece of content now has that. Then what I do, and I started out, and listen, you can do this. There's tons of ghostwriters out there where you can take the video and then they can put it into that. I started with a ghostwriter. It just wasn't my voice, So what I started doing then is each week I'm taking one of those videos. I do it on Sunday afternoon for me. So I'm gearing up for the next week, and I'll just take and do a 1,200, 1,500 word article. I built that relationship with Inman, do an article or two a week there. I know you're doing it.
Yep.
It's
Thanks to you, by the way.
Yeah, well,
Thank you.
but it's just your value needs to be out there. And
Yeah.
this is going back to that. Listen, you're doing all this work. It's not like it's another amount of work. You're already doing the content. Now it's just putting in the format. Some people will listen audibly. Some people will watch it video-wise. Some people are still reading. So what we've done now is we've taken that effort of putting the one piece of content together, and we're hitting everybody wherever they are. It's the old platinum rule.
Yep.
Treat people the way they want to be treated. And so
100%.
a lot of people aren't going to watch the videos. They're not going to listen to the podcast. They're not necessarily going to do one of those, but they may do one. And so once we get to where we're giving it to them the way they want it, everything else works out.
Well, people have different learning styles, and this is what everyone forgets. And you got to. What I love what you're doing is you're doing the thing that you're good at, and then operationalizing it afterwards. Because, like me personally, I type like a caveman. Like I'm not fast. Like people make fun of me how aggressive I am on the keyboard. Yeah. I can do a great video that gets the point out there, and then you find someone that can help you turn it into a blog post, turn it into. And we got Nick behind the camera here.
Yeah.
He's getting the audio. He's doing all the things. And when you do that, you're going to reach more people. That's all it is.
That's all it is. And so let's get super practical with people. Let me tell you where I would start. First thing is shoot the video, okay? And if you're like, I'm not comfortable on camera, just begin the process. Once you start the process, you'll get more and more comfortable. After you shot that video, that's your first step. Start that process. If you're wondering, we're now at a time where you cannot make the excuse of, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Because all you got to do is go to YouTube. How do I turn a video into a podcast?
Yep.
Boom, it's going to show you exactly.
Google it.
All you got to do is Google it, and it's going to show you exactly how to do that. Start with what you're best at. If you're best at writing, write it, then turn it into a video. If you're best at speaking it, man, I'll start a lot of agents where they're like, I just don't want to be uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable on camera. We'll take BombBomb, and we'll do basically the old setup where they've got all their notes, and they're not even on there. We'll black out themselves, and they'll talk over as they're flipping through the slides. It gets them more comfortable. Start where you're comfortable. Once you start the process, everything else begins to take place. I will say that the podcast portion right now is incredible what it's doing. And I know you can speak to this. Publishing articles is an incredible way for you to extend your journey. We do it on the national level. If you're an agent and you're in a local market, I'll promise you there's a local newspaper, there's a local
100%,
website
yeah.
that would love that content of five things people love about living in whatever your city is. 5 things people don't like about living in your
Yes.
city. All those types of things that your local content will get you that exposure, make you the resource to that ideal client for you. And you're already knowing these things. I mean, literally, if we could turn this camera on and I said, hey, Tom, let's talk about 5 things people should do before they list their house for sale. Boom, you could do that without even thinking about it.
100%, yeah.
We're already have that in our mind. It's just getting it out there. One of the things cool is, I don't think I'm doing anything that I haven't done for 25, 27 years now in this business. The difference is that I would sit at the table with a client and I would give it to one
Yes,
person.
yes,
Or
100%.
in our cases, I would sit and I would do a sales meeting for our group of agents. Now what's happening is we turn the camera on and now you literally can reach every part of the world with that same messaging. So as a local agent, you've got the opportunity. You don't have to sit in front of one person at a time. You can leverage it by sitting in front of one camera at a time, and it expands out to everybody else.
That's called scalability. So there's a lot of people out there right now, and you said something I find really interesting is that anybody can do video. If guys like me can do video, and you, I mean, you know, we're all friends here. What advice do you have for the person that's a little shy about getting in front of the camera or doing it? I mean, like there's someone watching this right now. There's fear. They're paralyzed. What do you want to tell them before we wrap up?
Yeah, and you know, I don't want to get so simplistic that it's just, you know, just press record and just push it. But in reality, just record it and put it out there. Don't look at it. Don't even think about it. Just get started. I'll guarantee you, if we go back and look at your first videos,
It's horrible.
it's mine.
It's still on YouTube. It's still on YouTube.
I do the same thing. I keep them out there because I want people to be able to see
Agreed.
how bad it was to start with. Everybody, if you think your first listing appointment you go on is going to be your best listing appointment ever, you're naive.
It's actually going to be the worst listing appointment.
And if you
you're
think-
only going to get better.
And if you think your first video is going to be the best one you ever shoot,
That's also going to be the worst one.
Absolutely.
And you're only got room to improve. And I think that's what people need to realize. It's about improvement and 1% better every day.
that's exactly right. What's the song? A little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. That's kind of what we're doing right here, right? Just a little bit country, a little bit rock
I guess. I
and roll.
don't know. I listen to rap music. So,
I know, I'm with you. I know, but literally the bottom line is just start. Whatever it is, just quit making excuses. This is the time when you've got to get past the excuse-itis that's out there and really just take the effort and start. Once you start, the momentum's going to carry. Once you get that first person that calls you and that you get that first listing from this, or you get that first buyer, you get that first referral from this, I promise you're going to have some momentum that you're not going to have until you get started.
Jimmy Burgess dumped a ton of information here. You're going to have to rewatch this video a couple times, take notes, and most importantly, implement. Thanks, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.